Hey y'all, what's up? What's good? How's everybody doing? Today, BlackGhostFace here is going to be doing the next 4 episodes of RWBY World of Remnant. Now, from the last 4 episodes, I learned so much about it. Now, I'm going to be learning more about this 4-part episode. Now, before I begin the video, I'm going to clarify that I'm not going to just stop and talk about it and move on to the next episode. At the end of the 4 part of this episode, I will be doing a full review on all 4. Okay? So sit back and relax and enjoy yourselves. Post any recommendations that you want me to react to for your leisure amusement. If you're new and wish to stay tuned for more future episodes, reactions, games, shows, etc., stab that button down below and I will continue to give you a show. Now, I ain't wasting no more time. Let us react. Let us witness more World of Remnant. I hope I'm saying it right. World of Remnant. Or World of Rem for short. Vital Festival.
It all began, as most things do, with war. The kingdoms of the world had been locked in a violent struggle for years, but eventually the Great War of Remnant came to an end on the small island of Vital. It was here that humanity's leaders chose peace over bloodshed and constructed the future of modern society, establishing new laws, new academies, and new traditions. The Vital Festival was created to serve as a celebration of peace between the kingdoms. Every 2 years, a kingdom would be chosen to open its doors to the world, allowing citizens from every corner of Remnant to meet and indulge in one another's cultures. The pinnacle of this event was the Vital Festival Tournament.
Makes sense?
After the newly formed Huntsman Academies proved to be a success, the Vital Festival Tournament was designed to test the strengths of the kingdom's warriors in a safe and friendly competitive environment, a wonderful method in which to ensure that the world's huntsmen would never settle for mediocrity, but would constantly strive to become the absolute best they could be. As the skills of the huntsmen grew, so did the games. And in time, it was decided that the tournament would need a stage equal in greatness to that of its competitors. Amity Coliseum was the culmination of the 4 kingdoms' efforts, a technological marvel and a shining symbol of harmony, capable of making the journey to all the kingdoms of Remnant. It's true that all of this began with war, but it is peace that has served to shepherd humanity on its ascension to greatness.
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
May we never stray from that path.
So that all makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. The anatomy stage. That all makes sense. But now we're moving on to the next episode. Huntsman.
Huntsmen and huntresses, the best and brightest warriors of Remnant, ranking higher than kingdom police and even military in terms of strength and skill. The occupation was established alongside the Huntsman Academies after the Great War, with the hope of creating elite warriors whose sole purpose would be to combat the creatures of Grim. Beacon Academy was founded in Vale, Haven founded in Mistral, Shade founded in Vacuo, and Atlas founded in the now-defunct kingdom of Mantle. These institutions accepted graduates of primary combat schools who showed enough promise and tenacity to not only battle the world's deadliest creatures, but also protect their fellow man. For this reason, trainees are grouped into teams, ensuring the continual development of communication, empathy, and teamwork, traits that are vital to any guardian of peace. As an additional precaution to maintaining peace, the founders of the academies believed that their graduates should be kept separate from kingdom allegiance. Once finished with their training, huntsmen and huntresses are free to choose who they work for, as well as what kind of work they will do through the use of mission boards. Allying with a particular kingdom or village is entirely up to the individual. However, Atlas Academy has come under increasing amounts of scrutiny for the indoctrination of military lifestyle upon its students, pressuring them to enlist in the Atlas military's Special Operatives Unit. Every academy has its own methods of teaching, but the end result is the same. Huntsmen and huntresses ready to make their own paths. Some will stay together as a team, some will move on to work alone. But all are expected to serve humanity and never succumb to the darkness.
That's right. There's something I gotta say about Atlas though at the end of this video. But we're not gonna forget. But we're not gonna just scroll past and not gonna pretend we didn't see the RWBY team and Winter as well. Not gonna scroll past that part. You think I didn't see that? But anywho though, folks, that all makes sense. Moving on again to the next episode.
Throughout the years, the world of Remnant has seen hundreds of technological advances that have changed society. The most influential of all of them being the cross-continental transmit system. Prior to the invention of the CCTS, long-range communication was extremely limited. The discovery and development of radio technology allowed for communication within the boundaries of most kingdoms. But communication with other parts of the world was restricted to the physical delivery of messages. With every alternative form of communication that was proposed, there seemed to be the perfect obstacle. The destructive nature of the creatures of Grimm severely limited the reliability of ground-based technologies. The concept of relay satellites orbiting around the planet was promising. Unfortunately, modern man has yet to make the technological advancements required to achieve spaceflight, as all known dust types lose their power as they begin to leave Remnant's atmosphere. Eventually, it was the people of Atlas, the world's leader in science and technology, that developed the cross-continental transmit system. It was revolutionary. Like radio, signals were sent and received wirelessly, though the content of these transmissions were not nearly as limited. Audio, video, images, and text were all capable of transmission, and eventually an entire online web of information was at mankind's fingertips. Currently, the system is supported by 4 primary relay towers, each located within a safeguarded area of the kingdoms. These towers allow for wireless communication within a kingdom through the use of devices such as scrolls. Signals become less reliable the farther a user travels from the CCT tower. And although smaller support towers do exist outside of kingdoms, they are constantly at risk of destruction by the creatures of Grimm. Shortcomings aside, for the first time in history, digital transmissions between kingdoms were possible through the use of slightly more advanced devices, typically found in homes and CCT centers. The cross-continental transmit system has and will continue to advance the progression of mankind. However, if one of the 4 towers is taken offline, the entire network fails with it. A slight inconvenience during routine maintenance, but to be honest, I find the limitation somewhat poetic. No one voice is louder than the others, and no voice may be silenced without the rest. If the people of Remnant are to speak, then they shall do so together. Or not at all.
Alright then. So they tried physical delivery. That didn't work. Kept getting attacked. This is all good information so far. I'm learning so much right now. We'll have a big review at the end of this. And we are now at the last part of the World of Remnant 4-part episode. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the last 4 parts of World of Remnant. Okay. Ah, the 4 maidens.
Deep in the forests of Remnant, beside a great and mighty river, stood the small, fragile home of a cold, frail man. A lone wizard. Hidden from the dangers and distractions of the world, the wizard seldom had visitors. But on this day, as he peered out his window, his gaze fell upon a young maiden. Calmly she sat beneath his tree, in a state of absolute tranquility. When the wizard demanded an explanation, the maiden simply replied, "My name is Winter. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters." With that, she closed her eyes and sat in silence. The wizard told himself the girl was a fool, but the longer she sat, the more he wished to share in the serenity the young maiden enjoyed. In time, he grew tired and decided to close his eyes as well, thinking on this strange predicament. Upon opening his eyes, the wizard was befuddled to find that a second maiden had appeared beneath his tree, cheerful and spry, with a basket of fruit and flowers. When he asked for an explanation, the girl simply replied, "My name is Spring. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sisters." To show her gratitude for his reluctant hospitality, the girl retrieved a handful of seeds from her basket and planted them in the wizard's garden.
Oh, wow.
The old hermit could hardly believe his eyes as the maiden turned what was once a mere pile of dirt and manure into a beautiful garden from which life would surely blossom. It's likely he would have gazed for hours, were it not for the unfamiliar laughter he heard from beneath his tree. A young woman with a warm smile now stood beside the two maidens. The wizard begged her to introduce herself, to which she happily responded, "My name is Summer. I am on a journey, and I am waiting for my sister." Of course, thought the wizard. But another chirp of laughter left the old man perplexed. What in the world was so funny? As it turned out, it was him. The new arrival found the wizard's insistence on staying indoors so very amusing. Why choose to view the world through a small window when the door leading out to it was right at his side? It was a compelling argument, and after only a moment of brief hesitation, the wizard left his home and stepped outside. The warmth of the sun brought with it a surge of energy and life, and soon the wizard wasn't feeling much like himself anymore.
And he gave him a tag?
He was feeling much better. As the day drew to a close, the maidens and the wizard all settled down and prepared a feast. Winter set the table. Spring supplied the crops. Summer prepped the meal, and the wizard was the happiest he'd been in ages. But in all the excitement, he nearly failed to notice the delicate woman that now stood beneath his tree. He smiled and beckoned her to join them, asking only for her name. "My name is Fall," she replied softly. "I am on a journey and am here to meet my sisters. Who are you?" "Me?" the wizard wondered. "Well, I am but an old hermit. I have lived in these woods alone for centuries, and I'm afraid my story is not very interesting, as I have no one to love and nothing to my name." The eldest sister looked up at all that surrounded them. "But sir, do you not see? You have so much." It was true. With their help, it was now clear to see that the wizard had everything he could ever need. He was grateful, but a question lingered in his mind. "Why me?" he asked. "Why did the four of you choose to open my eyes, to share with me your gifts? Why am I so special?" The four sisters looked to one another, perplexed. Finally, the eldest spoke. I beg your pardon, sir, but we did not do these things for you because you were special. We do what we can for everyone, because we are able. The old wizard was at a loss. Never in his years had he come across such kindness. It was in that moment that he knew what should be done. The wizard summoned his magic, every ounce he could muster, and bestowed it upon the sisters.
Okay.
He smiled. Take this gift and know now that you are able to do so much more. Now, armed with the elements, the very powers of nature, and the unimaginable magic of the wizard, the four maidens, winter, spring, summer, and fall, promised to carry onward with their journey, using their gifts to aid others, just as they had aided him. One by one, the sisters left. Before they did, they made one final promise. They promised to return each and every year to visit their dear friend.
Everyone, that is the end of the 4-part episode of World of Remnant. World of Remnant. See, I'm going to call it World of Rem for short, okay? So don't bite my head up because I'm calling it World of Rem for short. World of Remnant. Okay. Now, on to the review. From the first one, the Vital Festival. I can understand the 4 countries. They've been fighting for so long. But it came to one island to where we need to stop all this bloodshed. This is literally a pointless battle right now. We could all be together as one to expand the world. We could just make peace and no more war. And that's what they did. And not only did they do that, but they made a foundation to show that we are a peaceful country where all are welcome. And people who wants to fight during tournaments and all, come join our created stadium to where it's shared by the 4 countries that made it put together. As I said like before, like a Pokemon stadium, that's exactly what it is. It's to where every fighter from different country, they fight. They fight, they show that this is not just a, we are only doing this because we're only making a, let's say like only a fire stadium, only a water stadium, only an earth stadium. No, this is an all elemental stadium where all the countries, as you see that, I remember this place, this was from that place. But the question is, like, how long do you think that will last? Are they still going to continue being at peace though? If something breaks out or someone sabotages someone else's country and put the blame on, because that can happen. But now, moving on to the second part. The huntsmen. Huntsmen and huntresses. They are the best of the best. They are above military itself. But as you see that when you graduate from an academy or from a country that you train for to become a huntsman and huntress, you can choose to where you can work wherever you want to. But it seems like Atlas, here's the part right here. Atlas seems like no. Once you graduate from Atlas, you're going to be working for Atlas. Because Atlas is basically like a military huntsman huntress level. So my question is, what would happen if you decided to where I don't want to work for Atlas. I want to work for Beacon. I want to work for Haven. I want to work for Vakuo. I don't know if I'm saying it right, Vakuo. But what if you wanted to work on either city, either country you want to work for, but Atlas won't let you because you trained for Atlas? So what? You're gonna revoke my license of being a huntsman or huntresses because I decided I didn't want to become a military specialist for Atlas. But the other three countries, I can go wherever I want. Someone who graduated from Vail, they can work for Mistral. Someone who graduated from Mistral, they can work for Vacuo. Same thing for Vacuo. I could work for either Vail or Mistral. But you mean to tell me in Atlas I have to become a military specialist in Atlas by force, by pressure? And you seen when it showed that moment right there, you seen Winter right there. It's like she had no choice. I could tell right now in her mind that she wanted to work for either Vale, Mistral, or Vacuum. I could see why. I could see how the story played out. The cross-continental the transit system. One thing that I've been thinking about. One thing that crossed my mind when they showed the physical delivery. Of course, you don't get attacked by Grim. But when they did the tower, here's the thing. When Morpheus said when one fails, the rest of them fail. When they showed the satellites to boost the signal of the towers so that way you can actually communicate with your friends and family instead of getting a low signal. What if one of the towers are destroyed and the others are offline? Is it always going to? I'm sure it's always that one person that always going to destroy that one thing, and the hero's going to come to fix that whole thing. I'll say this: the transit system and Atlas was the one that created that too. They're the ones who came up with the idea because they're number one in technology and military. When it showed that the Beacon Academy, because when Morpheus said when one fails, the rest of them do. When it showed Beacon Academy was taken over by Grimm, so does that mean? So that means that the rest of them can no longer communicate, or unless they found another way to communicate. I'm sure y'all already know because y'all like already like volume 8. But now for the last one, the Four Maidens. Now the Four Maidens, of course, when Morpheus told Pyrrha about the story of the Four Maidens, which Pyrrha thought that it was just a fairy tale. From Morpheus' side, I can see that he knows that this is a very true story. That four girls, they came together and waited for each other to come every season. The old man, which was the wizard, was wondering why are they coming here? Of all places in the world, you decide to show up here. It's like how Pyrrha said, destiny. Do you believe in destiny? Because there is a reason for everything. They showed up. They helped him. They was nice to him. They provided him food. And Spring made him a garden. Made him a garden, for God's sakes. And when Summer showed up, Summer, the oldest one, the wizard, he was wondering why me though. Now here's a what if. Why? Here's a what if. What if the wizard did not give them powers though? Because when they said that, when Summer said we help everyone, that right there was a flaw right there. You help everyone. That's a good thing. But what if the person you help turns out to be a villain, turns out to be evil? And now that the wizard has gave them powers, now y'all are a bigger target now. Because if someone sees you that you have powers, they're going to come for you. They're going to attack you. They're going to try and find a way to steal your powers all for themselves. You've seen the biggest example of when Cinder attacked Fall. Now, my next question is, what happened to the other sisters? Winter, Spring, Summer, where are they at? Where are they at? That's my question. Because now it's occurring to me that Weiss's sister, Winter, is she like the reincarnation of Winter? Is she? I don't know. And Summer, when Ruby was talking to her mother, Summer Rose, it was Summer the reincarnation of Summer? I'm trying to understand it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Are they reincarnations of the maidens, or they are just names that was picked by because of the vibe and attitude of the maidens? Because that's how that mostly works. If like you see someone, you're inspired by that person, and you know what, I'm gonna call my kid after you to show that I'm gonna continue your legacy of the name of the spring, winter, summer, fall. That's all. That's how most people do that when they be inspired by a person. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that was great. That was really, really detailed to where I understand a little bit more of how this happened, that happened, who these people are, and how they created this, and how the maidens came to be. But as always, this was very, very detailed backstory of how RWBY came to be, of how RWBY was formed to what it is now. Post your comments below if you have any recommendation that you want me to react to for your leisure amusement. If you are new and you wish to stay tuned for more RWBY episodes, reactions, game shows, etc., etc., stab that button down below and I will continue to give you a show. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a good day. Hope you stay safe out there. And yes, you already know. Peace out, yo.